Hey everybody, happy Saturday. So, guys, I hope every one of you guys are doing very well on this lovely day. I'm currently in the process of moving, and with this whole, having to do so much stuff, like, I really just wanted to hop on here quickly and talk about how we will take so many stuff for granted that in other places they seem to be like very, very difficult tasks. So, for those of you guys who have been here, for those of you guys who tend to keep up with me, you guys know that I was on this 5 weeks journey where I was just traveling the world, just living my best life. And it was gonna be 6 weeks, but unfortunately, it didn't end up happening because, like I said, we take stuff for granted that in other continent, in other country, they may seem like very, very difficult to get done. With that being said, I was in North America, I was also in Europe, and lastly, we decided that we were also going to go to Africa because like I said, we're traveling, we were already in Europe, so why not? So, with that being said, we were planning to spend 2 weeks in Africa. That didn't necessarily ended up happening. And one of the main reasons why it didn't really happen is because I'm not sure if any of you guys on here have been to Africa, but I do have to say, I personally have never in my entire life experienced the type, like the sun there. I know the sun is very hot wherever we are, but I truly have never ever experienced the type of heat, the type of humidity, the type of hotness that I did when I was just in Africa. And with that being said, that is the reason why we had to end it up. Just basically, instead of spending 2 weeks there, we decided that we 1 week was way more than enough. And that will be the number one reason. But I also have to say that the second reason is that truly, guys, it seemed like nothing really worked, nothing really functioned. And to be specific, the country that we went to on the African continent, it was to Zimbabwe. I'm not sure if any of you guys have been there. So, just so you guys can get like a better understanding of why I decided to put this as my title, Black males, in my opinion, they're not really made for leadership. And I feel like this is very unfortunate because, like I said, we were out here, just living our best life, and we wanted to continue to do that while on literally motherland. So, just so you guys can get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. So, okay, we had a reservation because like I said, we initially planned it to spend 2 weeks, but then when once we got to Zimbabwe, the first night, we mind you, we were traveling, like you guys know, to travel from Europe to Africa, those are very long flights. So we had our reservation because our whole plan was that we were just gonna go to our hotel for literally just that night because once again we arrived at like 5, I would say like 5:15, 5:20 p.m. So for our surprise, we went to, oh, and even before, okay, let me backtrack. Even before arriving to our hotel, like arriving at the airport, it was a complete chaos. And it truly seemed like people, like, obviously, it's not the average everyday people, right? It is the government, the administration, and all of that. If you guys aren't necessarily familiar with this meal that I have here on the thumbnail, this is the president of the country, Zimbabwe. And like I said, the something that I don't know, maybe, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anyone on, motherland, but I think it was a very eye-opening experience for me having to go through this. And like I said, I'm currently in the process of moving and everything is set, everything is ready to go. And to see just how easy it was, I feel like when you go to places like that and everything is broken, it just makes us appreciate more what we have, right? So, okay, backtracking. Soon as we got on the airport, one of the very first thing that we noticed, like this meal that you're viewing here on your screen, are on the thumbnail. This male face is literally plastered all over the Zimbabwe airport, which, like I said, maybe it is customary within the different African country, but personally, it was my first time to Africa, so it was just like very odd to me, right? So okay, that was the first thing when we had to go to immigration. Also, like they were just making stuff so difficult, like, and to be honest guys, I'm not really sure why. I guess that should be, our very first red flag. But like I said, I was just happy to continue to travel. At this point, mind you, this was at this point, yes, we had already completed a month traveling North America, the European continent, and then week 5, then we decided we were going to spend week 5, and week 6 we decided that we were going to spend it in Africa. So, Cece, hi Cece, thanks for being here. They are all the same, just different location. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I'm not really trying to be disrespectful here. Like I said, it was my first time in Africa. It was my first time in any type of African country. So this is what I'm saying. Like for me, it was just, it's not the usual. Like you go to a country and you see the president face, like literally everywhere you go. Okay, it's good to know. That's why I'm asking question. You learn something new every day. So, okay, mind you guys, at this point, we're starting off week 5 going to Africa, right? Okay, like I said, they already made it so difficult at the airport, us going through immigration and, whatever. Okay. So we managed to finally, after like almost 2 hours, go through immigration because they were asking us for this, they were asking us for that. I'm not sure, once again, someone later on told us the reason why they were giving you guys such a hassle is because they thought that you guys were going to fall under the pressure, and they were hoping that you guys would have potentially felt defeated, and you guys will basically want to basically bribe them. This is someone like it's a native from Zimbabwe. That is what they told me. I don't know if that is the case, but we didn't do it. We just do all of the million stuff that they told us to do to be able that, to leave the airport. Anyway, that happened. So then when we went to our hotel that we had, obviously like we arrived, the bellboys, they welcome us and everything. They got our luggage, and so now when it's time for us to go to reception, to do our check-in and everything, as we're there, I noticed that they have, like, obviously it was guests that was about to arrive. They had already like printed out their sheets and everything. So the gentleman that was taking care of us, he said, he basically asked us to look at those names and see if there were, if that was us. So we went through the names, and no, we weren't there. So okay, no big deal. So he said, well, let me check this. Oh, and after we were among the guests that were supposed to arrive, he said, did you guys make a reservation? I was thinking to myself, I mean, we really wouldn't be here if we didn't. But nonetheless, I said, well, right here on my phone, I can show you like the reference and all the information whatsoever. So after I showed that to him, then he went and he said, let me check the system once again. So, okay, he did that. He came back. And mind you, I do have to say, this guy had a face on him. I don't know if he was having a bad day. I'm not really sure what was going on with him. But, hey, anyway, so he went back. He said, okay, yes, I did find you. And then, yes, you are indeed in the system. He printed it out, and, he just told me, verify that all of the information is correct. So as I'm looking through it, then, we proceeded on. We wanted to pay. Okay, mind you, like I said, um, his face is everywhere, and the country is run very. We're gonna get there. We're gonna. IOU 88, we're gonna get there about the place being run very subpar. Let me just finish this first part. That's what I'm saying. These men aren't made for leadership. They really aren't. So anyway, okay, he went and checked the system, he printed out our paper, he told us to verify that that was the correct information. Okay, everything looked nice. So once we have already verified, obviously, you pay as you arrive. So obviously we're gonna go and pay. Mind you, at this point, once again, we've been traveling for a whole month up to this point and we have never encountered any of these type of issue. Okay, so once we checked all the information, it's time to pay. So, we provide a credit card. He said, I'm sorry, this card doesn't work. I was like, okay, no biggie. Like, this is technology. Sometimes stuff, fails, there's errors, trial and errors, right? Okay, no big deal. Okay. The first card, we didn't make it a big deal. Then we provided a second card. I'm sorry, this card doesn't work. So I said, okay, are you sure it's not your machine? And when we asked that question, this guy got so offended. And like I said, mind you, soon as we arrived on the premise, this guy, he just had like this face on him. Like I said, I'm not sure if he was having a bad day. I'm not sure if, whatever was going on with him. Anyway, second credit card, we asked him, are you sure it's not your machine? And I mean, he answered us like in a very, very rude manner. Anyway, not it didn't work. Second one didn't work. Okay. We decided, okay, let's produce a third card, right? I'm sorry, your card isn't working. At this point, it is three card. It's very frustrating. Like I said, at this point, we have been traveling for an entire month. We never had an issue. Okay, so finally at the third, I'm sorry, this card isn't working either. Like at this point, I was like, okay. Like I said, you're sure it's not your machine because I literally just been traveling all over North America, just come from Europe also for an entire month. We've been living off of this card and there haven't been an issue. This guy got so offended. And so I wasn't by myself. So someone made the comment and said, I understand we're in Africa, but it seemed like nothing really works here, and you guys makes it very difficult for people that want to come. And I mean, you would think that these people will be happy for people to visit them, like I mean, you're coming, you're bringing in money, you're helping with the economy, you're a tourist. Like, why make stuff so difficult? And like I said, it really prompted me to come on here and talk about this. I had no intention whatsoever. Like, I was like, okay, sometimes we take else in silent and we just move on, right? But like I said, I'm currently in the process of moving, and to see stuff sliding so smoothly, which I also feel like we tend to take these type of stuff for granted because it's just a system that we're used to, right? We have to being able to go, we our Apple Pay, we can literally just by the tip of a device, stuff is being done. But then when you go to a place like this and literally everything seems to be broken, it then makes you put stuff into perspective, right? It makes you appreciate what we have even more. Okay, so at this point, like I said, the comment was made that said, like, I understand we're in Africa, but it really seems like nothing works here. So anyway, if you thought he was pissed before, after that comment was made, it escalated like 10 times, even more. So, okay, to make a long story short, on this first part, which is why I think these male aren't made for leadership position, at the end, we didn't really, we weren't able to spend the night. None of our three cars were working. So, we basically, they gave us the boot. And at this point, like I said, we arrived maybe like 5:15, 5:20. Obviously, at this point, They had already brought in all our luggage. He had to go and print out the like our guest information. Once he had attempted 3 times with our card and nothing worked. I would say like maybe at this point it's probably like it's already starting to get dark. So it's like what, maybe 5:50, very close to 6 p.m. So yeah, we basically got the boot. So we had to end up leaving. Um Et, thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. How is your Saturday going? I'm just on here ranting about how we need to be more appreciative for the stuff that we have, because when you go to different places and you realize that basic stuff is an obstacle, I think that you really, really start to appreciate our lives more. So anyway, we basically got the boot at this hotel. So, obviously we don't have another reservation for another hotel. So obviously after we got the boot, we had to leave because none of our 3 credit card that we presented, none of them were working. And so we basically we were left stranded. So then obviously we had to go and look for another place. So anyway, we didn't really had any trouble at the second location that we went. Mind you, like I said, we only went in Zimbabwe literally just to spend the night, because the following morning we already had everything set up. We were going on a safari, which we did, which I thoroughly enjoy. I know a lot of people aren't about, the bush life, camping and stuff, but I think that you guys should try it if you guys want to, like, live out there in the wild, live with all of the wild animals. Oh my God, guys, it's crazy. Literally, in our tent, literally, we were hearing all of these, like, what are they called? The hyenas. I told you guys this hyena almost attacked me. Now that I'm saying this out loud, it is crazy. Like this crazy journey I just went on, but I'm still here. Anyway, so like I said, that happened at the first hotel. They gave us the boot after 3 card not working. We went to the second location, no problem whatsoever. Okay. The second day, we already had everything. Et says, whoa, sounds fun. What's the what's the name of the safari company? What part of Africa? Well, we went to this that happened. It happened in Zimbabwe. And so I'm sorry, I have people in and out here. Okay. Yeah, you can also take that one. Yeah. No, I mean I already have everything there packed, so it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, thank you. Sorry guys, like I said, I have the movers here, so anyway, IOU 88 say from the hotel to the bushes. I mean, yeah, basically. So anyway, like I said, with the second place that we went, there were no issue whatsoever. So we were able to spend the night. And obviously, you're traveling, you're jet lag, you just want to take a hot shower and get some rest. So anyway, we were able to do that. And we had already arranged everything for the following day. We chartered this private plane and everything. We had our own guide. And so it was amazing. Like I said, I know like this type of stuff isn't necessarily for the weak, because I'm gonna tell you guys, it was my first experience living literally in the bush. And I can assure you guys, even though I really, really much enjoy the experience, because I always try to, whenever you're trying to do something, regardless if it's not really highly entertaining for me, I always try to take something from each situation, because I feel like you learn something, or like how does the saying go? Like you either learn something, or I don't even remember how it goes at this point. But anyway, I tried to make the best out of the situation, but like I said, it was a one and done deal for me. It's not gonna happen again. This hyena was literally approaching me, and guys, hyenas are so ugly. Not like as this animal was slowly, like literally in slow motion, like approaching me, like naturally, like my entire soul left my body. Right? I was like, wow, this is the end. So. Anyway, so this hyena, as he was slowly approaching me, they're so damn ugly. And I know, they're animals. Animals are ugly, but damn. Anyway, back to the story at hand. So we went on our safari. Like I mentioned previously, it was supposed to be 2 weeks, but there were just like too much stuff that isn't working. Everything is broken. And then the people, like, if you're like, how come I'm not able to pay for this? And you ask people, like, why is there an issue? Like, instead of them trying to provide you with some type of solution, it seemed like they would really get offended that you're just simply asking, why can't I do simple stuff? Anyway, we went on our safari. Everything was great, except for the fact that I almost got eaten by a hyena. I literally like took so much videos, like with the elephants, with what do you call this? The bull guys. Like, oh my god, I still can't believe I was literally living among all of these wild animals. Like, it is crazy. Like, so many beautiful zebra. I was very, very hoping to see a mink. I've never seen a mink in person before. I've been told like they're so tiny and dainty and pretty, but um our tour guide, he told us that because it is too hot in Africa, that they don't really have mink. He told me where you would be able to find or see a mink. He said it will probably be in Europe rather than in the African continent. The last shall be first. Good morning. How are you? Happy Saturday. So back to the story. So, like I said, our trip, it was cut shortly because of everything being broken, the people being like not really helpful, like they looking at you like you're the bad guy when stuff are in basic stuff like can't be done. Oh, and even before all of that, guys, like we traveled on the Ethiopia airline, and guys, we literally bought first class ticket. You guys aren't gonna believe, in the first class ticket, the bathroom, nothing was working. Like, we literally had to go from first class accommodation. We had to go from, if you wanted to use the restroom, after purchasing your ticket in first class, spending all that money, you didn't really have access to the restroom because it's broken. You have to go way back to economy. And I'm not saying it's a big deal, but like just basic stuff doesn't. I guess the first red flag we should have had was on the airline, right? When the in first class the bathroom is broken, I guess we should expect everything to go downhill from there. So okay, it started off on the on our flight, the bathroom not necessarily working. It also, um I know, right? Very embarrassing. Like, after you spend all this money, you want to be comfortable. We had to literally get up and go way back. And like I said, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with economy, but if you purchase, you should be able to enjoy what you spend your money on. Nonetheless, so okay, it started off on the airline, nothing is working. Once we entered the airport, like they were giving us such a hard time. Like I said, we later came to find out that they potentially wanted us to bribe them. Then when we go to the hotel, three credit card, none of them worked after literally been using these cards for the last month. And so okay, then we went, we did our week on safari. And so, okay, that was okay. And then, okay, after safari, after the first experience we had, once we, the first night, once we arrived to Africa, that basically the hotel, they weren't able to charge us, so we had to leave and go and look for another apartment, another hotel, sorry. So anyway, we made our reservation and everything before before we got back off of our safari. And guys, if y'all are familiar with Victoria Fall, you would know that it's literally one of the most attractive like tourist destination. So obviously, because of what had happened the first night we tried to stay in this hotel, yeah, it was in Victoria Falls. So we said, okay, it's the Victoria Fall Hotel. We can't go wrong with this. Mm, little did we know. Anyway, guys, so okay, we had everything reserved at the Victoria Falls and everything. So we went, and then, when after safari and everything, um, Gossip Girl, hi, good morning. How are you? If I had $1 for every time I was asked this question, I'm Afro Latina. Um, so I hope that answer your I hope that answer your question. So anyway, like I said, after safari was over, we had everything set in place. Like, we were going to the Victoria Fall Hotel. And like I said, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Victoria Fall, but that place is supposed to be up there, right? In terms of like if you want a luxurious experience. So okay, we had everything set ready to go, mind you guys. And this is a little trivial, but just so you guys can have like more or less an idea, they call it the basic room in Zimbabwe at the Victoria Fall Hotel. The basic room starts out at $625. Then it go all the way up to executive, which is at $4,000. Okay, you would think with the price starting out at $625 all the way up to 4,000, you would think that stuff will work properly, right? At the Victoria Fall. Okay, guys. Where do I even begin with this? And like I said, with this type of place, obviously if you're paying this type of money, you at least want you want to have running water. You want your electricity to be stable, right? Well, what a rude awakening call we had. So anyway, we checked in, and another thing that is so crazy to me, like, even though, yes, I'm not gonna lie, I don't recall seeing a black guest at the hotel. But I was so confused as to why these people were looking at me as if I was an alien, as if I was from another planet. These people are like black just like me. So anyway, I couldn't understand why all of the employees just kept looking at me the entire time, but I'm gonna let you guys know later on why. Oh my god, this was such a crazy experience. So anyway, we went up, we checked in, we got our room, we went up to our room, and mind you, like, oh, I know by me telling you guys this, people may not want to necessarily go and experience the different. And like I said, hey, I'm not saying all African countries are this way, but I went to Zimbabwe and literally nothing worked. Literally. So yes, IOU, running water, electric. And I'm telling you, the cheapest room is 625. You would think with 625 to begin with, you should at least have water, right? Anyway, so okay, we check into our apartment. First issue, soon as we the bellboy, he took us upstairs. He had our luggage. Soon as this guy tried to open the door, the car doesn't work. Oh my God. I was like, really? We were thinking we were gonna avoid this type of stuff, being that it is indeed the Victoria Falls Hotel, right? Mm-mm. So anyway, we had to then wait for him to go back downstairs, go to reception, I guess replace the key to get a new one. So we literally just stood outside there with our luggage and stuff, just waiting. So okay, finally he came back, he opened the door and everything, and he were basically explaining where everything was. And so okay, we did that. So he said, and mind you guys, the reason why we decided that we wanted to stay at this place is because a very good friend of mine, he wanted to go there. That was literally like the last thing on his bucket list in terms of like travels. But unfortunately, he didn't really made it. He died like shortly after. So in his memory, we decided that we were just gonna go. We were gonna live our best life. We were gonna go to the Victoria Fall Hotel. We were, just gonna like basically in celebration of him, right? So okay, we did that, and mind you, we literally didn't have to even leave our room because we got like the most exclusive view. Like we got the very top the rooms, the executive that I told you guys about. So anyway, we literally would just sit there on our balcony and we would let's just look at the beautiful fall. And obviously considering that it was at this point, yeah, we were already in November because I literally just got back Monday. So yeah, we will literally just sat on our balcony and literally just watch this beautiful fall. And considering that we were in November, obviously, all of the it's not as beautiful. So basically they were telling us like the best time to come so you can have like the full experience in terms of like the fall and stuff. They told us it would be like in April and May. So I'm not, like I said, I think one time was quite enough for me, but I would really like to see the waterfalls in full. So anyway, so we went and we obviously we knew the room that we got because they explained to us if you get certain room, you can just literally sit there and watch the falls. And like I said, we got that one. And as we're there, just just admiring this beautiful creation. And also, it was kind of like a bittersweet moment because like I said, one of our very good friend, like that was one of his like last thing that he wanted to do. He weren't able to do it, so that's why it was kind of like a bittersweet moment. So anyway, also just trying to live in the moment. And so at this point, when we arrived, it was like it was not I I'm not sure if it was like 1:30 or 2 p.m., but it wasn't either too early or too late. So then we were just told there, like trying to basically like how this all marinate in our mind that we're looking at this beautiful attraction, like so anyway, at this point, I would say we probably just sat there for like 30 minutes. And after that, you just come back off safari, you're back to civilization. Naturally, you want to get your devices charged, you want to take a shower and everything. You guys aren't going to believe it. After taking in the falls, probably 30 minutes later, got up, went to go take a hot shower. Guess what, guys? Oh my God. There were no water. Like, oh, what? At the Victoria Falls Hotel, you don't have water? Like, I'm pretty sure if we had gone to an apartment, so why do I think I'm keep saying apartment because I'm currently moving to a new apartment. But anyway, if you go to a hotel where you're paying $200 or $300, they're gonna at least have water. The Victoria Fall with this hella price that they have, we didn't have water. So we had to call reception to know why paying all of this money. Why don't we have water? Oh my God. Anyway, so and guys, I'm trying to be like respectful here because like I said, I'm not gonna put all of the African country within one same category. But my experience that I have only in this one, Zimbabwe, it wasn't good. Like everything seemed to be, and I'm leaving out so many like tiny stuff that you would just ask yourself why. So anyway, no water. Like we had to call, report it. Finally, it got fixed. And but my whole thing is like, why? So another thing, after it's all said and done, like I said, we were planning to spend 2 weeks in Africa. It didn't, and it ended up happening because we wanted to go to Botswana. We also want, and just in case you guys don't know, they recently had election in Mozambique. So we also were planning to go to Mozambique, but unfortunately that didn't necessarily work out because they recently had an election and seemed like the citizen, they're not really happy with the outcome, the result, once again, because they claim of all the corruption. And as we were talking to our guide when we went on the safari, the stuff that this gentleman told us, like, it is crazy to hear. Like he said, he know that in politics, he said he know that, globally there's issue. He said, but the issue that we face here in the majority of these African countries, he said, is that here it is all in your face. Everybody know who the bad guys are. Everybody know who's the corrupts. But nobody does anything about it because everybody is too afraid. Everybody keeps everything all hush hush. So anyway, we learn a lot from him. So, oh yeah, like I mentioned, we were planning to spend 2 weeks, but it didn't end up happening because everything is broken. Nothing worked. When you ask people why you can't do basic stuff, instead of them saying, I'm sorry or whatever, they would get upset because you're asking. And so, they were giving us so much issue at the airport. So, okay, like I said, because at this point, obviously, we already had our reservation, right? We had it for, we were planning to be there for 2 weeks. After we saw everything consistently happening, like everything being broken, we said, nah. And plus the sun, guys, like I said, personally, I've never ever in my entire life experienced a sun like so strong, like in Zimbabwe. So anyway, we decided to cut our flight short. And so one of our friends, because we were traveling with some friends, so they were leaving, so we decided we were gonna, just say goodbye to them. So we went to the airport with them as they were, leaving. So while we were at the airport, we said, well, why not just try, considering that we're at the airport, why not try to change our flight while we were there? Because like I said, we were planning to spend 2 weeks, but after everything was being done, we said, now we want to get out of here. We're at the airport, guys, saying goodbye to our friends. When at Ethiopia, we tried to change our flight. Guess what? You cannot change your flight at the airport. This is so crazy to me. Have you guys ever experienced where life happens? Life happens. You're at the airport and you can't change your damn flight. So anyway, um, yeah, we tried to change our flight at the airport. We couldn't do it. They told us at the desk that we had to go into town to get it done. And and then we also, we were like, well, this is the first time in our entire life we heard that you can't, at the place that you're supposed to be taking off from, that everything is done in regard to our flight, we can't get a change of flight. So no. So we said, well, can you guys provide us with a phone number so that we can call instead of making a trip into town? So the guy, he decided like he was gonna, peace and blessing. Is this an open discussion? Era Black TV. Welcome. I mean, you can state whatever you want. I'm just talking about my experience of what I just went through in Zimbabwe. So anyway, we couldn't change our flight at at the airport, guys. So we asked the gentleman, can you provide us with a phone number? So he did. We called it, and then the lady said, yes, in order for me to change your flight, you have to come into town. And I do have to say, we went into town because at this point, obviously, we can't really change our flight, right? Without actually physically going into town. So we were like, okay, whatever. We're just going to go into town. So we did. And the lady, she was very nice, very, very nice. And she helped us. But what I'm saying, guys, I say all of that to say, have you guys ever been in a predicament where you have, if you book a flight, you're traveling, anything can happen. You can get sick, someone can pass away, what anything can happen. Have you guys ever experienced where at the airport you can't change your flight or online on a phone call by you just calling customer service you can't change that? Like I said, maybe this is something that is common in other places in I don't know the African continent because like I said, I'm always traveling to North America, I'm always traveling to Europe. I've been to several Caribbean countries. I've been, obviously, I'm Afro Latina. So, and I've never ever had that experience before. So, like I said, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just thought the stuff that I saw in Africa, I really didn't anticipate those type of stuff. Anyway, um, at the end, obviously, we had to ended up going into town to get our flight changed. And the lady, she was very lovely. She helped us, no issue whatsoever. But I think it is very interesting how these male, regardless of, we already know that they don't really have power in the majority of the world, right? But don't you guys think it is quite interesting that the places that they do? Oh, guys, and also we went to, oh, like I was telling you guys, we decided that we were gonna get one of the room with the best view, right? So like I told you guys, we didn't really had to leave if we didn't want. We can literally just go on our balcony and look at the falls, right? But we decided we wanted to go. Like I said, we're on vacation, we want to be out and about, we're already in Africa, we want to explore, we want to see what the place is all about. So we decided that we were gonna go, and then we went to and actually saw the falls in person, right? So we did, and at this random little boutique, because I wanted some type of African garment. So at this little random boutique, I came across the cutest little dress and some earrings and like, and guys, it is crazy how the lady, and I'm sorry I have to say this, but this lady was trying to rip me off like so badly. And it is crazy because once she gave me the price of stuff, like I got the money for her. And so what happened is I had like 20s and stuff. So what when I tried to pay her, I 220s I had that they came out together because sometimes if you have $50 bill, if you have $20 bill, if you have $100 bill, sometimes because they're right together and they basically it's the same money, sometimes you can get confused and only think you have one. So I had $220, 220 that they were together. This lady tried to steal one of my 20, and oh my God, it is so cringy, my experience. Now that I'm saying this out loud, it sounds even crazier. But, and like I said, I really tried to enjoy myself because I was already there, after traveling all of this time. But unfortunately, I didn't really have the best experience, and not at the hotel, not with the people, people looking at you crazy. And I don't know. I don't. Eh. I think I'm gonna leave it here because if I continue, if I were to tell you guys everything that happened on this trip, on specifically that week in Africa, you guys wouldn't believe it. It is crazy. Like the guys also like, oh my god. Anyway, I think I'm gonna leave this here. Like I said, I truly feel like black males, like regardless of where they're located on this earth, like it truly, this is why when I come on here and tell you guys stuff, you guys be thinking that, oh, I'm so against these males. You guys be thinking that I have an agenda. You guys be thinking that I just don't like these males, but that is so far from the case. I can tell you guys, I've been very fortunate that I have been literally to so many countries. And I can tell you guys, it truly seems like black male globally, they have the same like despicable behaviors. Like these male, they're so disrespectful. Like it is crazy. Nothing works. All they care about is pocketing whatever, because even the our guy that we had while we were on safari, like he obviously he owned his own company, and he was from South Africa, so he's like the white Africans from South Africa. So he was still, and yes, he has one of the C word. I'm not gonna say it on here because you guys know YouTube and their censorship. But he was telling us how his family, like his ancestor, they came there like 300-400 years ago, and he has his own company and everything. But I think it is so unfortunate all the stuff that he has told us. And I'm not sure he was saying it because we already know how these people feel about us, right? But a lot of stuff that he told us, I've kind of lived it. And I think it is quite unfortunate. I also wanted to get my hair braided because I don't really use braids. I think I have like maybe like what 14 years that I haven't used braids. And so, because of the climate there, I thought that my best option would be for me to get braids, right? Because it was so hot. But it didn't really work out because it seemed like whenever I would try to get someone to, like the drivers and stuff, the people at the hotel, like the prices were like crazy. I was like, I might as well get the braces back home and the braids back home if I'm gonna be paying this amount. Came to find out they were trying to rip us off once again, but I know that happens everywhere when you travel because also I'm not just saying this because it's Africa or whatnot. When people will always try to rip you off when they see that you're a tourist, because even back in Europe, in Italy, these taxi guys, they're crazy, they're out of control, and these Italian, they're very very aggressive. So anyway, guys, like I said, if I continue to rant about this literally only a week that I had in Africa, I would literally be here all day long. Can you guys imagine not being able to change your flight while you're literally physically at the airport? Am I crazy? Am I delusional? Like you can't pay for your hotel, three cards, nothing worked, no apology. They give you the boot, you have to go, but whatever. Um, I want to finish this video off by saying, well, you guys know, like I told you guys, I'm currently moving, so I have to get out. The guys are all, everything is all packed and ready to go. So I'm gonna continue to come on here and talk my ish. You guys, thank you all for supporting me. Like I said, I was hoping that I didn't really had to do this, but now that I'm currently in the process of moving and everything is like what we're used to, right? Stuff working. This is what really prompted me to want to come on here and tell you guys that we should really stop taking stuff for granted. We should be more appreciative because when you go to other places and you see that literally to get simple basic tasks done, it seemed like such a hassle. So I want to end this by saying cherish what you have, appreciate what you have, appreciate the people that are surrounding you. When you're able to just go out, want to take a trip, and you can simply just pull out your phone and pay with no issue, I can tell you this is a privilege in other places. And unfortunately, we have become very, very fortunate. We kind of, at this point, we don't even think about it. We just want to do something, we get up and do it, and it's easily done. But then when you go to countries like this and you see that our continent, the African continent, specifically my situation, in my case, I visited Zimbabwe, and I'm not saying all of the African countries are this way. I'm just saying it is my unfortunate situation that I have. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And I'm going to see you guys back here on Monday. So, take care, everybody. Before I go, 888 say, they're disgusting all over the world. Unfortunately, it really seems that way because, like I told you guys, it doesn't matter what part of the world I'm at. Literally, these males, like, they will, if you're walking somewhere, they will be shouting the most disrespectful stuff. And I'm like, just why? Is it really necessary for you to yell at someone? And for the most part, I have like this dusty repellent. That's a joke me and my friend were always like laughing about. But when I travel, like I really don't understand why these males feel like a woman is gonna be interested in them because you're yelling at her, saying these type of very disrespectful stuff that maybe in their mind they think that you're gonna view as a compliment. No, thank you. But anyway, guys, like I said, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you guys for joining me. Like I said, I just wanted to come on here and rant and tell us that we should be more appreciative of the stuff that we have. Stop taking stuff for granted because in other places, trust and believe, for stuff that we view as just getting up and going and do it and having no issue, in other places to get these simply stuff done is definitely not as easy. Anyway, guys, bye. I'll see you guys next time.